Hello students, welcome to the chemistry session and there is a questionnaire round for you. So I am going to test your knowledge in this very chapter, that is chemistry in everyday life. A very interesting chapter. It requires knowledge, it requires facts more than the logics. So you need to be having a clear picture of all the structures of all the type of drugs that we have done so far. So let us just move on to the question number 1, but before moving on to that, I would like to tell you that this very chapter does not hold that much weightage in the examination, but yet it is very important. Even if 1 or 2 questions get right in the examination, it can change your ranks so much. So let us just have the question number 1. So the mixture of chloroxylenol and the terpineol act as. So just try to recall the concepts. You need to recall the concept in each and every question. So what is the fact? The fact is the mixture of, I have got chloroxylenol plus what? We have got terpineol. So let us just draw the structures for these, and you need to have a proper mixture of the two to get out of the 4. What do we get? So I hope you remember that this is nothing but the mixture which is formed in the Dettol, which is found in the Dettol, which is what? We all know Dettol is a very, very important kind of a chemical that we use in daily life. That is an antiseptic. Yes, you are absolutely correct. That is antiseptic. So we are clear with the answer. Let us just have a practice of the structures once again. So what is chloroxylenol? Xylene you need to draw, and that too metaxylene. Along with all, that is OH and Cl. Terpineol will be something like this. CH3, and the last one is OH over here. So that is terpineol. So I hope you all have got it right. We have got the answer as well. Analgesic, antiseptic, antipyretic, antibiotic. What is analgesic? That is the painkillers. Antiseptic, we all know, it actually kills the bacteria. Antipyretic, what is antipyretic? It reduces the fever, and antibiotic again stopping the growth of the bacteria as well as killing the bacteria. That is what antibiotic does. So I hope you have got the answer over here, which is B, that is antiseptic. Now let's move on to the next very question. So these are the type of questions which come from the chapter everyday life. Chemistry in everyday life. Not a big deal, you just need to have a proper knowledge of it. So the next question says, which of the following is an analgesic? So what is analgesic? Analgesic is nothing but painkiller. And I've got the options. What is penicillin? So you must have recalled the concept. It was formed from the penicillium bacteria, penicillium fungi actually. So that is what? That is nothing but an antibiotic. Again what? I've got streptomycin and chloromycetin. So as the name is suggesting, these two may be lying in the same category. If you don't know what chloromycetin is, it is also from the family of streptomycin, or I can say from the actual lot of the type of antibiotics. Yes, these are also antibiotics. Basically they are bactericidal. What are bactericidal? Killing the growth of the bacteria. The killing of bacteria, not stopping the growth, but cidal means, that means killing of the bacteria. So I hope you all are getting the point over here. So these two medicines are nothing but what? These are antibiotics again. And what I'm left with is, if you don't know what Novalgen is, you can actually try to eliminate all the possibilities, then have the answer. So I would like to tell you over here, Novalgen is a painkiller first. Also it reduces fever. That is antipyretic as well. So that is for your information. And the compound over here which is involved in the Novalgen is, it is dipyrone. So that is what we have. And the answer would be D, because all the others are antibiotics. Only one is left, that is the antipyretic or analgesic, we can say. So I hope you have got the point over here. Now let's move on to the next very question. Question number 3. What do we have in question number 3? So I hope it's interesting kind of a question here. It's actually a type of a quiz. Here you do not have to perform any kind of mechanisms or something. Just you need to have a proper knowledge. So bithionol is generally added to the soaps as an additive to function as a. So it is added. What is bithionol first of all? So if you remember, we have done this bithionol in the case of added as an antiseptic. So bithionol is actually added. It is added in soaps. Why? Because whenever we use soaps on our bodies, so what does our body have? They have got a lot of bacteria on the surface. So the bacteria actually eat the dead skin tissues and it produces odor, bad odor it produces. So in order to actually reduce that bad odor, bithionol is added as an antiseptic to kill the bacteria. So bithionol is added as antiseptic to kill or reduce, to kill the bacteria, we can say, or reduce bad odor by bacterial decomposition. So what is the structure for bithionol? So you need to have a proper knowledge of that. Bithionol is having a sulfur compound, a sulfur element in between, and what do we have? OH along with Cl. There is no method of actually remembering this. You just need to have a proper practice of the structure. So that is nothing but the bithionol, not a softener, not a dryer, not a buffering agent, but antiseptic. So I hope that is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. So I hope you all have written this information down. What do I have next? Which of the following hormones is produced under the condition of stress which stimulates glycogenolysis in the liver of the human beings? So you need to have a hormone. So all of the things, all of the kind of compounds which are given over here are hormones. That is what the question says, and is produced under the condition of stress. So I need to find out which of the hormone is produced when we have stress. So remember, what is adrenaline rush? Actually, it is the kind of an hormone which is released by adrenal gland in order to make our body to cope up with situations. Situation like emotional stress, situation like physical stress. So basically it is giving us strength in that condition. So that is nothing but the adrenaline. It copes up with our body. It copes up the situation. It makes us strong to handle a particular difficult situation that we are facing. So that is what adrenaline does. So we have got the answer, but let us discuss each one of them. Thyroxine, it's a hormone which is released by thyroid gland, and due to the deficiency of thyroid in the body, we get hypothyroidism. So that is entirely a different thing. It does not let us deal with the condition of stress. What is insulin? It maintains the blood sugar level, Again a different concept, again a different kind of a function of this very particular hormone. Adrenaline, we all know. Estradiol, what is estradiol? That is a hormone which mimics what? Which mimics the sex hormone. Which is the sex hormone that I am talking about is estrogen over here. So it mimics the estrogen, and it definitely is contained within the oral contraceptives. So I hope that is clear to you. We have got the answer, that is adrenaline. Now let's move on to the next one. So the next question says, yes, antiseptics and disinfectants either kill or prevent the growth of microorganisms. We all know that antiseptics either can kill or can stop the growth, bactericidal or bacteriostatic. So these are the words. Identify which of the following is not true. So I need to read out the conditions over here and I need to find out which one is incorrect one. So you must be very careful with the question. Not true. So it says a 0.2% solution of phenol is an antiseptic while 1% solution acts as a disinfectant. Yes, we all know. If I've taken phenol in less quantity, then it could be not harmful for our living tissues. But if I take up a higher concentration of this particular phenol, it is harmful for our skin. That means it can be used as a disinfectant but not as an antiseptic that is applied on the body. So this is very correct. Chlorine and iodine are used as strong disinfectants. Yes, definitely yes. If you would have observed in the swimming pools, what is there? There is chlorine. That means it's used as a disinfectant. So as well as the iodine. That is true. Iodine is also a disinfectant. We have also used iodine in antiseptics, but that too in a reduced amount. Dilute solutions of boric acid and hydrogen peroxide are strong antiseptics. So is it true? They are actually talking about the dilute solutions of boric acid and hydrogen peroxide. Where is the dilute solution of boric acid used? That is used for the cleaning of eyes, used for the cleaning of our eyeballs. That means it must be a very sensitive solution. So how can I say it is a strong antiseptic? It is a super mild antiseptic. In order to make less harm to our eyes, these very solutions are taken up. So these are mild solutions. Or I can say the mild antiseptics, not the strong ones. Disinfectants harm the living tissues. That is very true. Antiseptics do not, but disinfectants are actually inappropriate to apply on the skin, to apply on the living tissues. So that is what we have, and we get the answer as C. Here is the answer. Let me just rub these two off. So the answer here is C, that these antiseptics are always mild because they have to be used onto your eyes, which is a very, very sensitive area. Very sensitive as well as an exposed part of our body. So I hope you all have got the point over here. Let us just have the next question. Okay, now here the question comes up related to antihistamines. Now our drugs coming up. So which one of the following is employed as antihistamine? What is antihistamine? Is basically anti-allergic. So just try to recall all the medicines, all the drugs that we have done here in this case. First is the diphenylhydramine, norethindrone, omeprazole and chloramphenicol. First is diphenylhydramine. This is what? Norethindrone is nothing but mimicking what? It is a type of, yes, progesterone. So that is a sex hormone that is actually added in the oral contraceptives, progesterone. What else do we have? Omeprazole. That is the latest kind of antacid that we use. So that is antacids. What is chloramphenicol? Chloramphenicol is actually, it's antibiotic. So I hope you all have remembered this, and it is also a wide range broad spectrum antibiotic. That means broad spectrum means killing a range of bacteria. So broad spectrum. So we have gathered all the information regarding the three. What do we have left with? Diphenylhydramine. What is the structure? This is definitely an antihistamine. And the structure, let us just draw the structure for diphenylhydramine, which is, I've got diphenyl. So that could be something like this. So that is what we have. So I hope everybody is following up. So let's move on to the next very question. The answer over here was diphenylhydramine, which is an antihistamine. So the next one is, which one of the following is employed as a tranquilizer? What is a tranquilizer? Uplifting your mood, and also antidepressants. Those are known as tranquilizers. So which one of the following? So I need to have each and every as an information. Chlorpheniramine, it is the class of diphenylamine that we have just covered. That is, it is an antihistamine, anti-allergic. Tetracycline, it is also kind of what? Antibiotic, yes. And it is also bacteriostatic, not bactericidal. So that is bacteriostatic antibiotic. So I hope you all are able to recall. What is naproxen? Naproxen is actually a kind of painkiller. So that is an analgesic. So just note this down because it must be new to you. We haven't done such kind of a compound. And also when there is examination, do not get confused between the options. If you don't know any one of those, just like naproxen, you have got a very little information about naproxen, or even do not have any kind of an information. So do not worry about this option. Just try to analyze the others. Just try to eliminate the possibilities, then you will definitely be getting the answer. So what is Equanil? Equanil, yes, we have got under the category of tranquilizer. It is definitely an antidepressant. And also I would like to tell you that is a strong one. So that is strong antidepressant here in this case. So let us just have the structure for Equanil. Equanil. So that is a simple kind of a structure we have already discussed in the sessions. So I hope you all have followed up my sessions earlier regarding the chemistry in everyday life. So that is the drug that we are dealing with. That is Equanil. So let's move on to the next question. What does the next question says? So it's, which of the following is the sweetest sweetening agent? So I need to have this, these are nothing but the artificial sweeteners, or let us just analyze if they are artificial or not. I am talking about the sweetest sweetening agent. That means let us just analyze. I've got sucralose, allicin and saccharin. I need to know which is the sweetest. So for that comparison, what do we take? We always take sucrose as the comparison. That means sucrose is a natural sugar. It would be having less amount of sweetening property as what we have in artificial sweeteners. So that is what we are aiming at. So that means I am eliminating the possibility of sucrose. It is having the least sweetening power. Now if I try to analyze sucralose, allicin and saccharin. So you need to just have what? Just have a proper knowledge of all the artificial sweeteners. So what is sucralose? So earlier what we have done was saccharin. Saccharin is actually starting from the very basic. So starting from the very basic, first was the aspartame that we have discussed was 100 times than that of sucrose. That is the sweetness. Second was saccharin, which was how much? It was 550 times than that of sucrose. Third was, I hope you all are able to recall that, sucralose. That is approximately 600 times that of sucrose. And number fourth was allicin. That is how much? That is around 2000. That means so much of sweetening property it has. That is around 2000 of that of sucrose. So sucrose is nothing but that is the natural sugar. So as per our data, as per our knowledge, we have got the answer. Sweetest will be elitame, and the sweetness is so much that it is uncontrollable whenever it is added into the food. So that is what about the artificial sweetening agent is. So let's just move on to the second last question that we have. So the second last question says, aspirin is an acetylation product of what? So we all know what aspirin is. Aspirin is actually, it is reducing the headache. We usually use that also in order to reduce the fever sometimes. So that is why the aspirin is used. So let us just draw the structure of aspirin. That is aspirin. And I hope you all remember the type of reaction that it has. We prepare the aspirin always from salicylic acid. That is this. So I need to have this OH replaced with OCOCH3. That is a very simple reaction. We all know what reaction is that? That is acetylation. So I need for the acetylation what? Here acetic anhydride is used. So that is the thing which actually have the acetylation. So here we are performing the acetylation. So let us just match the options here. It is ortho, okay, ortho-hydroxy. So I could have written this as CWH here and OH over here. So what do we have? Ortho-hydroxy benzoic acid, that should be the answer. Ortho-hydroxybenzene, not an answer. Meta-hydroxybenzoic, I hope you all have seen the answer over here. This is also not done. Ortho-hydroxybenzoic acid must be having the acetylation to get the aspirin. So that is what we are getting over here. I hope you all have followed up. So let's move on to the next very reaction, and I would like to tell you one thing over here before moving on, that this very reaction of aspirin, the formation of aspirin, that is very, very important from your examination point of view, be it CBSE, be it any kind of exam. So aspirin is most of the times, or I can say frequently repeated in the exam. So you must be having a proper knowledge of this very reaction. Let's move on to the next. Yes, the last one we have, what is it? Which of the following can possibly be used as analgesic without causing addiction and mood modification? So it must be an analgesic, and secondly what? It must be having no addiction and no mood modification. That means analgesic, and that to what? That to non-narcotic. So it must be non-narcotic. That means having no kind of an addiction, no mood uplift. So here what do we have? Morphine. What is a morphine? Morphine is nothing but a drug. A drug, yes, definitely. But what kind of a drug? That is a narcotic drug. So that is narcotic, producing sleep, producing addiction. So that is a narcotic drug. Diazepam. What is diazepam? It is nothing but Valium. What is Valium? It's again a tranquilizer. So we have discussed diazepam in the case of tranquilizers. So it does not reduces the pain. It is not an analgesic, but yet it is actually uplifting the mood. It is a kind of an antidepressant. So that is antidepressant. So I cannot have this as my answer. So this is antidepressant. It uplifts the mood actually. What is this? Tetrahydrocationol. So do you know this very compound? If you do not know, let us just move on to over here. I may be eliminating this option. So I've got N-acetyl para-aminophenol. So what is that? N-acetyl para-aminophenol. Phenol. And I've got NHCO CH3. So that is what we are having here in this case. What is this? Do you recognize this very compound? Similar to somewhat aspirin, but it is more powerful, it's better than aspirin. That is nothing but the paracetamol. So that is paracetamol. And what is paracetamol? We all know that is a painkiller, analgesic. So this is analgesic. Also what? It is better than the aspirin, analgesic and non-narcotic. So that is not producing any addiction. So that is non-narcotic. Also what? Also it is not causing any kind of addiction because it is non-narcotic. No mood uplift, just in the case of fever, just in the case of anti-inflammation, some kind of swelling which is occurring in the body. So in those cases, paracetamol is always used. So that is what the case of N-acetyl para-aminophenol. So I need not to go over here because this very option satisfies our demands, what is demanding in the question. But if you look here, just for your information, I would like to tell you, this is derived from cannabis. What is cannabis? Cannabis is nothing but marijuana. So that is again what? A drug, a narcotic drug. So derived from cannabis, a narcotic drug. So you might not be familiar with certain options within the questions, but you can always have possibilities of elimination. So that is what it is, and we have got the answer over here. I hope everybody has followed up and you are through with the questions now. You need to just revise these questions because they are actually containing not logics but factual questions. Facts and knowledge is the key over here in chemistry in everyday life. So I hope everybody has enjoyed the session. I'll be back with some more questions in the next session. Till then, have a good day.